What's up with the do Room 611? I appreciate all of y'all stepping in for another episode. As me as your host, Jalen Harris. I got a special guest today with me, G Smith, the owner of the famous Mecca G's Clippers. How you doing today?
Man, I'm great, thanks. I'm great. How about yourself?
I'm doing real good. I'm doing
All
real
right.
good. So I'm trying to switch into a new lane, trying to get like you
I
in my
love
lane.
it. I
So,
love it. I love it. I
yeah.
love it.
So what's been going on with your life lately? I know you're a busy man, so
Man, that's a loaded question. I got quite a bit been going on with my life,
yeah.
man, lately. Man, I got a few projects I'm working on, man. G's Clippers is going great. Got the health clinic. Got a pre-barbering program I'm working on. Man, still running my marathons. I got my sixth major marathon coming up over in Tokyo. March 3rd coming up 6 months from now, so I'm excited about that.
That's cool.
So I got my hands full, man. The health clinic has really been going good.
Yeah. We're
Yeah,
gonna
the health
touch on
clinic.
that a little
Yeah,
bit
yeah,
later.
yeah.
But you grew up on 7th and Melvina
Yep.
with your dad being a county bus driver,
Mm-hmm.
with along with 5 siblings, as well 5 brothers and 1 sister.
Yep.
And then your mom was a stay-at-home mom.
Yep.
So how was that growing up like in the household?
I mean,
That's full.
growing up in a household, man, with that many siblings, and all of us literally is 1 year apart. Like literally, I mean, from 51 years old to 58, and I'm second to the youngest at 52 years old. I mean, growing up in a household like that, of course, you learn a lot. You learn a lot about sharing, giving. You learn a lot about teamwork. You learn just so much. So it was definitely a learning experience. My mom was a school teacher until she became disabled.
Oh, okay.
So
Oh,
since
wow.
1982 until she died in 2009, she was disabled. So my father was the main breadwinner in the house. So that whole experience, man, was really helped shaped who I am today and who my siblings are as well. I mean, that's what prompts a lot of my give back. A lot of the work I do in the community, is how I've been raised. My mom was um, a go getter, until she became disabled. She was an educator. She did a lot of work. Her whole life was, prior to being ill, was helping people.
I did not know that about your mom, first of
Yeah.
all. So is that, I know you said that's why um, that's why you give back from, from your parents and your siblings. But how did that shape you as a father? Like did that become make you more of a nurturer as a parent or
Well, as a father, I mean, I learned from how my father was. My
yeah,
father was a present dad.
yeah.
He was there. He was involved. And I had my kids late in life. I had
Oh
my
yeah.
first child when I was 37,
Oh yeah,
and
you
my
was fine.
last
Yeah,
child when I
yeah,
was
yeah,
38. So I had lived a lot of life.
yeah.
So I mean, I would recommend that to anybody, to be honest with you. I mean, 37 years old, having my first child. Some people might think it was old, or I thought at first, it was like older, but my God, man, what I'm able to provide to my boys, not just financial, whatever material, but game. I mean, when I say game, I mean it in the most respectful term. I mean, I'm able to really give them true knowledge, so they won't have to make a lot of the mistakes I made, So having kids later in life, man, really, really, I believe was a major blessing, to my boys and to me. I mean, because I had lived a lot. I had
Yeah.
lived a lot of life, had a lot of experiences, man. So I was able to really, really, and am still, because right now they're 15 and 16 years old. So now I'm loving this time. Now I'm loving this time. I mean, I love for my kids to say, "Dad, let me run something by you.
Yeah.
Let me run something by you."
Hmm.
I mean, they respect my input. They really know that I've been around for a
Yeah.
while. So to have that, man, I mean, it's just priceless. Oh, it's just priceless, man. I love it.
Was that by design, or you just like I'm just too busy and too selfish
It
probably
was
right
definitely not
now?
by design.
Yeah. No.
It was definitely not by
Just too
design, man.
busy.
It just happened, man. I mean, I was busy. I
Yeah.
opened G's Clippers when I was 24 years old. And I was just so focused, man, on building an empire of a brand and barbershop. That I didn't want anything to derail that.
Yeah.
at all. So I stayed focused, and even when I had my boys at 37 and 38 years old, they weren't playing. I thank God, for them, but they weren't playing.
Did you have any, not regrets, but did you have any like second thoughts, like, dang, like, did I make the right decision? Like, is he gonna mess me up right here? Or
Nah, for my roots, my spiritual roots, man, I believe everything happens, for a reason.
correct.
And no, I never ever once, I never second guessed it. Never was, boy, can I handle it? Boy,
Hmm.
no, I knew I was ready. I knew I was ready for it. I don't believe God gonna allow anything to happen like that, man, without equipping you with the proper tools, man, to make it through. So no, when they were born, man, I was excited, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Boy, I got two boys. Like, okay, a year
Did you want a
apart.
girl at all or no?
No, I mean, I can. You know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. I was okay with either kid,
Yeah.
a boy or girl. So when I said no, I was referring to now.
Yeah.
Do
Yeah.
I want one like
Yeah.
now? No. No, I made sure I no more kids come. I didn't want to have any kids after 40 years
Yeah.
old.
Yeah. Yeah.
So do I wish I would have had a girl? Nah. I thank God I had healthy kids.
Hmm.
And as you have kids later in life, like 37 and 38 years old, you have seen so many disabled kids out here, kids with
Yeah.
Down syndrome,
Yeah.
kids with multiple sclerosis, kids with, just all different type of ailments, man. I never was that one at 37 years old that said, I want to have a boy, I want to have a boy, I
Hmm.
want to have a girl. Uh, I want to have a healthy child.
Yeah, one of my close friends, he has a kid. He's preached that to me. Like, I don't have any kids yet, but
Yeah.
he preaches that to me. Like, bro, like, it's people don't really talk on how important it is to have a healthy kid, because that's not like,
Yeah.
pregnancy for a woman is not easy at all. A lot of people say that it's the closest thing to death.
Close thing, that's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
As a close thing to death that a woman will get. I mean, they body go through so much, man, during that 9 months, and then delivering the baby.
Yeah.
Like, my gosh, I mean, it's so many. Uh, I know at least three women that have died during giving birth.
Really.
Well, yeah, yeah, and there's so many individuals. My mom, I would have had a sister after my brother, the youngest in my family. It really would have been eight of us
Hmm.
instead of seven. My mom had an episode like we just spoke of, in terms of how close she was to death. So it was either my mom or my baby sister at birth, and she chose her.
Yeah,
My
for
mom
sure.
chose her, like, 'cause she had seven other kids that she had
Yeah.
to take care of, and be here for.
Yeah.
So yeah, so she chose her.
How often do you think about that? Like her having an episode?
I was older then. I mean, young then. I was a baby, so I don't really know exactly, how that process was back
Hmm.
then. I was told the story when I was older in life, but I don't know what to think of it.
Yeah.
Again, everything in life happens for a
Yeah.
reason, man.
I know your sister probably like, dang, I could have got away from y'all. I could have got away from all of y'all, my cousins, everybody. I could have had me a sister, but
And
like you
my
said,
sister, you know what? She wasn't like your typical sister. My sister was more of a mother figure.
oh,
My
okay,
parents
okay.
had her and then six boys.
Oh,
She's the
oh, so
oldest.
she the boss of all y'all. So
She the
y'all got to do
oldest.
what she say.
She the oldest. Yeah, yeah. Tina's the oldest. So
I got you.
she was more like a mother figure,
That's
especially with my
cool.
mom being sick for so long. Tina stepped up, and she cooked, she cleaned, she shopped, she did all of that.
That's cool. I read that you got into barbering from your dad because he went to a local Walgreens and he was like, it was simply it was just too expensive to take you guys every other week.
Yeah.
So what made you be like, okay, I'm gonna take this from my dad? Did he give, did he give you up? Like, did you look in the mirror and was like, man, pops, I can do better than this? Or
Nah, I'm gonna be honest with you. What happened? So I don't know if I got into barbering from my dad, but I definitely started cutting hair because of my dad.
yeah, at
I
the age
mean,
of
so
13,
barbering is
right?
another thing from cutting hair,
Yeah.
but we get more than that. But my pops, he was far from a barber.
Hmm.
Like you mentioned, he saved money, by cutting our own hair,
Hmm.
cutting hair himself, cutting our hair, himself. So he went to get some clippers from Walgreens, and he would just cut our hair, and we never got an edge up at all, just cut it all one length,
Yeah.
and sometimes he was too busy to get to our hair, and I asked my mom to, could I cut my own hair because he was so busy, and my hair
Oh,
had
okay, okay.
grown. So she said, "Yeah, you can cut it however it turn out. You going to school just like that." So I'm like, how bad could I do? I mean, so
Yeah,
I cut it all one length, and then of course maybe the second or third time I cut my hair, I learned that you could adjust those clippers,
yeah.
in such a way where you could edge it up. So then with them same clippers that I cut it low with, I was able to adjust them with a screwdriver because they were set in that certain. These were some old clippers, so they were
Hmm.
set to cut a certain length, and that
Oh,
was
okay.
it. But if you use a screwdriver, you can lower that blade to make it edge up, and that's what I did. So I got pretty good at cutting my own hair, and of course, any household with 6 boys in it, we got all the fellas in the neighborhood at our house all the time. So I had a lot of practice cutting all my
Mm,
friends' hair. Then 5 brothers. So man, by the time I was 13, 14 years old, I had a regular clientele
that's what's up.
out of my mom's and pop's house. So
What,
and so it wasn't until 21 years old before I decided to make it out of a career.
what
And
made you? You went to pro schools, barbering and cosmetology school,
yeah,
right?
yeah, pro schools of barber and cosmetology. Yeah.
What made you say like what was that journey like from those what 8 years? Did you ever be like, man, I don't know if I want to do this or I'm not good enough? You were like, no, this is what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
This is what I'm gonna make my
No,
career.
it wasn't that. It wasn't. I think I was good enough. I knew I was good enough only because, and I say it with all humbleness, I knew I was good enough because I had guys that was going to regular barbershops coming to me. They were going to licensed barbershops, licensed barbers, and cutting getting their hair cut,
Hmm.
and then coming to me or whatever, and stop going to that barbershop. So I knew I was good enough, and I would just compare, my haircuts, to other haircuts, from individuals going to barbershops. So I was confident in that. Um, but it wasn't until I worked at the post office where I knew, where as working downtown at the post office, seeing a lot of guys that was 40s, 50s, 60 years old, been doing it for years, raised families, own homes, nice cars, So I looked at that job as being maybe the apex of like the of of me making money and taking care of a family and
Hmm.
what could be. And I was like, I don't know if I want that to be my story though.
Yeah, I don't blame
So I wasn't happy. I wasn't fulfilled. So working there really at such a young age let me know that that's not really what I wanted it to be. But I was still cutting hair on the weekends. I was still cutting hair after hours from working. And it wasn't until one day I was in a really bad car accident, man. Me and my brother and 2 of our friends that we've been knowing since we were 5 years old. We were 21 years old. I was 21, so they was 20 and 19. And we was on our way to Pine Bluff, Arkansas, man. His name was Andre Bowie. We called him Pokey. He um, he died in the car. So the car went to flipping, and we went in the ditch, and my brother broke his arm. Me and my buddy Greg, nothing happened to us. Some, got banged up, some cuts and stuff from the window busting. But Andre Bowie, he lost his life, and I often look back at that day and like, boy, and think, boy, I wonder if Pokey can look back on his life. Can he honestly say he did the things he wanted to do and enjoyed his life and truly enjoyed his life? And I can honestly say he probably couldn't. And at that time I was working at the post office, and that was when I decided, because my mom had been telling me prior to that, like, boy, you are too good at cutting hair. Why don't you just go ahead and make it out of a career? Why don't you just go ahead and go to school for it? But I looked at that as a hustle. It wasn't nothing I really wanted to really do for a living. Although I did enjoy doing it, it really wasn't like work to me. But that accident was the turning point. That car accident. When I had that car accident and he died in that car, and I'm like, that could have been me. That's when I was like, boy, you could be here today in perfect health and gone today. So you gotta do what you truly enjoy doing.
that's true.
So that's what I did, man. I mean, that accident happened August 21st, 1992. I would never forget it. 6:05 a.m. And November 16th, I went to school for barbering and cosmetology. A couple months later.
I went through the same thing with my auntie, and I touched on this in one of my episodes. Like her birthday was September 6th, and she passed away September 8th. And the day of her birthday, I called her, and I caught my first interception on her birthday. And I never really caught one after again. So it made me think like God knew what He was doing that day with
Hmm.
me catching the interception that day.
Yeah.
And I went to I was in class. I was in seventh grade, and I got a phone call, like maybe like five of them from my auntie, and it was I didn't answer them. My dad picked me up, and he was like, he took me home, and he was like, your auntie passed. I was like I didn't really believe because I didn't think that it could happen to me.
Right.
So it's just crazy to say that somebody can be here today and gone the next day.
Man, gone the same day.
Yeah,
In that case, I mean, we were talking to him. Pokey was in great health. Young. Vibrant, funny as heck. You know what I'm saying? We were all just talking moments before, and that back right tire blew, and next thing you know, man, the car went haywire, and he went to flipping, went in the ditch, and now he's gone.
yeah,
Here today and gone today. I mean, life is so precious, and so many people live life, like they got a second chance. They live life like they could do it. They could do it over again, and they always put things off tomorrow that they can do today,
yeah.
like tomorrow is guaranteed.
Hmm. You feel like you were chosen from that point,
Oh, without a doubt, I believe that. It was a reason why I didn't pass away in that car that day.
or come up with any scratches or anything?
Nothing, nothing,
Yeah,
nothing. There's
that's
a
good.
reason. So, I mean, from that day forward, man, I'm like, I got to make sure I really focus on making this world a little better than I found it.
Yeah,
Because to whom much is given, I feel is too much required.
yeah,
So there's a certain amount of things I feel like I have to do.
yeah,
Being blessed with the platform that I've been blessed with, with G's Clippers and the network, the stage, you know.
yeah. So you started these Clippers on June 1st, 1995.
Yep.
What do you remember about that day, and how hard was it, or how easy was it to have people buy into coming to cut for you?
Well, I worked in one shop after getting my license, and that was Carol's New Image. That was on Fond du Lac in Capitol,
Hmm.
a few blocks up the street from our first location. And I worked there for 2 years, and it was three other barbers that worked there as well. And Carol had a major stroke, and her power of attorney was closing that shop down. And I thought about buying that one. A lot of people thought that I would be the one that would own that shop, but I always said my first shop I didn't want to. I always said I wanted to have at least a 10-chair shop. 10-chair shop because I felt that it would be worth my while,
Hmm.
not just having just a 4 or 5 chair shop when it's like, I mean, I knew it would be work running the shop, but I wanted to be worth my while. So I want to have a few chairs to be
That makes
reaping the
sense.
benefits
Yeah,
from.
that makes sense.
So she that shop was closed down, and then next thing you know, I started looking for a shop, man. Started looking for a shop, and those barbers came with me, which it didn't surprise me. I mean, they knew the type of guy I was. They knew I was hungry. They knew I had a vision. They knew I had professionalism out of this world. I was great with clients. And so from that point on, man, it wasn't hard gaining, barbers to come and work for me, because they could see the passion, they could see the hard work ethic. And I took a lot of what I learned from the post office, working from 9 to 5. You got to understand, a lot of barbers never really worked from 9 to 5.
Hmm.
A lot of barbers, man, graduate from high school, go straight into barber and cosmetology school.
You recommend that?
I mean, I don't see any problem with it, but I do think a lot of your more successful ones, they worked 9 to 5 before and got a lot of the because there's some benefits to working a 9 to 5 before entering this industry. Mainly timeliness, knowing how to
Good
take care of
people.
clients,
Yeah.
deal with people, communicate, all of that. But it's okay for an individual to come straight from high school, going into barbering and cosmetology, going to barbering, and long as they continue bettering themselves, making themselves better. Because I tell everybody all the time, your soft skills in this business will take you further
What do you mean
than
by
your
soft
talent.
skills?
Than your talent. Soft skills is knowing how to converse with people,
Mm.
knowing your, show your appreciation, knowing how to truly take care of a client. Those are all soft skills. Your thank yous, your appreciate yous, your, you know,
Common courtesy stuff.
yeah, it's all soft skills, communication. So those that will take you way further than your talent. I've been saying that since day one. I've seen guys with, you know, mediocre skills, but amazing client service skills. Just a great guy to talk to, great positive energy. I seen him have more clients than a guy that's extremely talented. It tells you right there how important your soft skills are. People always want to feel good.
How long do you think it takes to develop those skills if somebody's just coming straight into the barbershop?
It depends on how much they put into it. I mean, it's
Mm,
one of them things you're not gonna get more, no more out of it than what you put in it.
mm,
So I think that it's all in what you feed yourself.
mm.
When you in a car, if you try your best to listen to your self-help books, motivational books, when you're jogging or riding a bike or whatever, when you're reading books, try to read, motivational books, books that will help you, in your quest to have an amazing clientele and amazing future in this industry. I tell a lot of my barbers that just got in this industry, a great book to read, is How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. That book, that one single book really helped me in so many ways, in terms of how to communicate, how to win people over, just by, my energy, how I present myself, it's just so important that I think a lot of people take for granted.
I agree with that. When did you know that you had something special with G's Clippers? Because a lot of people, well, if you're confident in yourself and your skills, you're probably going to be like, yeah, I know, like I can do this or I do this, like my guys tell me this or my guys tell me this, but did somebody from the outside tell you like, yeah, like, hey, like, G, you got something huge with this. You can really do this if you really choose to take it serious.
Well, I knew when I had guys I truly looked up to, um, like to be in my presence, like to be around the shop, and the news came to interview me for different things, or came to get feedback, community feedback, about an issue that may have arisen in the community. Came to the barbershop to get community feedback. I looked at that. I looked at politicians that want to come and talk to the constituents when they were running for office. I looked at that. So once you just paid attention, I paid attention to what was going on around me, man, and and I knew at that point. And me, I always, whatever I did, I always gave my best. I always gave 100%. So I mean, I knew if I gave 100%, at whatever it was, I would definitely be successful at it. I would definitely succeed.
So we're gonna go back to what you said about the barbershop on off of Fond du Lac and Sherman. Me and my dad, we used to wake up early, early, early in the morning, and now I'm thinking that I don't know why he used to have me up that early, but that's neither here or there. Um, that's neither here or there. But you decided to make an executive decision to bring everybody to the barbershop that we're in right now on Martin Luther King Drive. What was the reason behind that?
Well, I had two shops for a while. If you can remember, I had Fond du Lac and Sherman, which was opened in 1995.
Right.
And in 2006 was when I opened the second location on over across the street from here on MLK.
Oh, really?
So I had two
I
locations.
didn't know that.
Oh
I thought
yeah,
it was always here.
yeah. No, I had two locations. So Fond du Lac was open and King Drive was open. That was across the street. So that was what 32 barbers and two locations is what I had. But this location, I always wanted it, man, because I mean, just look at it, the character,
Hmm.
the 22-foot ceilings, the vault, the safe. I mean, the 8,000 square feet, something that's never been done, in the city of Milwaukee in terms of size of a barbershop. You know, I mean, I just was like, wow, I can do some amazing things with that space, and then it'd be cheaper too. Now I only got
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
I only got one note,
Yeah.
one We Energies bill, one phone bill. You know what I'm saying? It made
Yeah,
sense, and everybody could fit
yeah,
in this one space.
correct.
So that was a big reason. And I looked at being in this area, on the east side of Milwaukee, just 3 minutes from downtown Milwaukee. You got so much development that has taken place over the past 15 or so years with they said over 15,000 new apartments, condos, and lofts has been added to downtown and
I
the
can believe
surrounding
it.
area. You talking about Walker's Point, Third Ward, downtown, the east side of Milwaukee. I mean, hell, I want to be in the thick of it,
Yeah,
and it's a big regentrification area, with a lot of resources coming in downtown area. I want to be a part of it.
that's good. I don't see what's wrong with it because it's you got people from like you said downtown, then it's not too far from probably Whitefish Bay. Honestly, right? Whitefish Bay is probably like
It's not it's
30
not far.
20
That's the unique thing about this location, man. I'm in close proximity of
everybody.
of
Yeah,
everyone,
yeah,
except of course your far west suburbs
yeah,
like your Menominee Falls and Germantown and
yeah,
all of that. But that's just residency out
mm,
there.
yeah,
I want to be a part of the moving parts, the parts that the communities that help Milwaukee run.
yeah.
And that is, the heart of Milwaukee, downtown, the east side, the third ward, even Glendale is close to me.
Mm-hmm,
I'm just close. I'm still in the city of Milwaukee.
mm-hmm.
I know I want to still yet be, around, the heart of urban Milwaukee, and I achieved that, and I love it. I love it in this area.
Well, with you building up a name as big as you have comes with lows and lessons. What type of lessons did you deal with early in your career that makes the lesson that you deal with now in your career so much easier because you probably ran through every single thing that you could think of 1,000 times.
Well, man, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I mean, I think what I benefit most from is having good character earlier on. When you got good character, character is who you really are when you think nobody's looking. So I knew that as a young man. So because I really focused on that and I conducted myself, in such a way, professional manner, I really dodged a lot of bullets that could really have done some harm.
Hmm.
I'm as honest as they come. I'm truthful. I don't really play games. My word is all I got, as well. So I value that. I would like to think I do good business, um, and being a great communicator. And another thing is getting things off my chest early. That helped dodge a lot of things. So many people, will straddle people along when they know they
Yeah,
don't want to maybe do this partnership or
yeah.
do this business, or they straddle them along. Man, let me call you back. Let me do this. No, you get things off your plate right away instead of adding more on your plate. That alleviates a lot of stress as well. So me practicing things of that nature, earlier on alleviated a lot of things that could have definitely, weighed me down.
With great character comes great relationships, and you've met a lot of people like Reggie Miller, Shaq, down the drivers, one of your close friends. How do you maintain those relationships, and just how do you start them?
Well, you start. I mean, you're in certain rooms. Once you reach a certain level of notoriety, you get invited to, be in a lot of these rooms, a lot of your black tie affairs, a lot of your community events, social events. You're asked to be in commercials. Down the driver and I met a few years back. When we were in the Click It or Ticket commercial, the DOT commercial. We had 5 commercials. They still run those commercials after all these years, and him and I, maintain friendship. So I mean, with me, I mean, I'm good at maintaining relationships. I'll send a text, man, just thinking about you, bro. How you doing? And they really take note of that. Like, dude, this is actually a cool dude. Never ask for anything. And that was me. So I mean, that's pretty much what it's been like. I'm invited in certain rooms and in certain areas, man, and I meet the individuals and I know how to maintain the relationship. I met some amazing people over the years. I mean, as well as your everyday individual, not necessarily just a celebrities. Yeah, there's been a lot of celebrities over the years. I think G's Clippers and myself has probably cut over 300 NBA athletes over the
Oh, wow.
years, and I can't count how many NFL players, baseball players, politicians,
I seen you cut the game too.
singers. Yeah, the game. It's been a lot of artists over the years as well. Rico Love, my main man. You know, so it's been a fun ride, man. I mean, I wouldn't change for anything in the world.
Got you. So as the shop got bigger, you decided to make a clinic with Wendy Collins, I believe her name is. What? How did that? How did that transpire? Because I didn't hear about it until I started doing more and more research. But yeah, how did these Clippers
G's
work?
MKE Wellness Clinic came about because, like you mentioned, Wendy Collins. She used to work with Anthem, and she, I mean, amazing mind. Like Wendy, I'm so impressed with the person Wendy is. Married to a very good friend of mine, Keaton Collins, and but she is the first one that really gave me the idea of it being possible.
Mm,
Of course, I always, she know the community work I've always done. I've done blood drives, I've done, health walk runs, 5Ks, and things of that nature, just bringing awareness to the health disparities that plague our community. But she let me know that it's possible to actually have a clinic, and she said that Anthem would be a major supporter and sponsor and developer of the clinic. I'm like, really, and one thing led to another, man, and here you go. Geez, MKE Wellness Clinic, and I give a lot of kudos to Wendy. She did a lot of legwork, man, making it happen. But now, as you can see, well, she's no longer with Anthem.
really?
I'm no longer with Anthem either. Some the two companies that is the engine behind G's MKE Wellness Clinic is Freighter and Network Health.
Mm,
So but I really honestly wanted to do it because my dad died from a preventable illness. My dad died from colon cancer. I
oh,
feel that no one should really die of colon cancer, with it being the most preventable cancer out. Just go get a colonoscopy, get the polyps removed off your colon wall. I mean, you're okay. I mean, it'd take on average 10 years for a polyp to grow to be cancerous and cause issues. 10 years. So we have so many individuals, man, that's just not going to the doctor. So many men, African
yeah,
American
yeah,
men in
yeah.
general, not going to the doctor, man, not knowing their numbers, not knowing if they have hypertension, just not knowing if they're on the verge of diabetes. So I felt that a barbershop is a trusted institution. A lot of men have a close relationship with their barber than they do their own doctor if they have one.
True.
So why not, bring the medical professional to the barbershop?
What made you keep it open from Thursday to Saturday when these are issues that people deal with every single day?
Well, I mean, we cannot actually be open every day. I think we'll expand the days of week that the clinic is open as the need uh, is there.
Hmm.
So as we start seeing more and more people on the day we're open, you know, we'll just start expanding.
Okay.
So we go to the need. Once it's there and we got the word out here more. So I want it to be normal to see barbershops in the clinic. I
Hmm.
mean, a clinic in barbershops
Hmm.
and clinics in beauty salons. I want it to be a normal thing. Right now it's only what I don't know if it's 5 in the country, a full clinic like I have. I
Yeah.
have a full clinic where individuals come to G's Clippers and get their blood pressure checks, their blood glucose level checked. We're about to start doing prostate exams. We're about to start doing colon guards. We got a machine here coming to um, eye exam where you'll find out if you have diabetes or you a candidate for diabetes. So we'll and we have so much we're doing mental health workshops, education on diabetes and hypertension, dietary information. So I'm excited, man, about all the different things we're doing and we're going to be doing.
Last question, then we'll get to the quick hitters. What would the soon to be 53-year-old G tell the 13-year-old kid that just had a dream? If you could tell him anything.
Don't quit. If you could dream it, you can be it. If you could dream it, you can have it. Do as much research as you can, with individuals that's in the field that you may be thinking about going into. That's extremely important. I think a lot of our dreams die, or a lot of individuals um, um, fail in business because they didn't prepare. They didn't do their research.
Mhm.
I mean, now it's so easy. It's so much easier for a barbershop
Yeah.
nowadays,
Just in
man.
general, it's easy for
Dude,
a
you
lot of
got
things.
Google, man. You got Google. Just Google. Hell,
Google and
man,
YouTube.
whatever you
Yeah.
want to know.
Yeah.
I mean, when I first opened G's, it wasn't such thing as
Yeah.
Google and the internet, and man, we did it the old. It was no social media at
Yeah.
all. We did the old fashioned way, man. We had flyers, man.
He
We
had the
we put
yellow
on people.
books.
Yeah, man. We did the old school way of
Yeah.
advertising. Now you would think it would be so much easier for individuals, man, to really grow in business and really learn what they can about the business that they're interested in getting into.
What makes it easier is probably make people more lazier though. Instant gratification is like the closest thing to attention.
You're right. You're
So
right. Unfortunately, yeah.
yeah. Okay, so I got some quick hitters for you. If you could wear any shoe for the rest of your life, what would it be? Like
Oh,
mine would be Jordan 3s.
that's a pretty good question,
Yeah,
man.
mine would be Jordan 3s, the whole line, the Breads, not the Breads, but the infrared 3s and all of them. Like what would yours be?
It sounds like some news from a 21-year-old man.
I gotta keep you
I
young. I gotta
say
keep you
I
young.
say I say some on clouds.
What are those?
On clouds are running shoes. They make
Oh, okay,
they
okay,
make
okay, okay,
walking
okay.
shoes as
Okay.
well. Standing shoes are very comfortable. I mean, a lot of people don't understand, the importance. And, from a 52-year-old, I mean, I've been around for a while, of
Yeah,
course, so I see now
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
importance of how you take care of your feet.
yeah.
If you don't take care of your feet, boy, I tell you, your feet will take care of you at some point in time in your life. So you gotta focus on wearing some of the most comfortable shoes out,
Yeah,
man, so you can be around for the long haul.
I got
So I don't know how much cushion the Jays have in them,
you.
man,
Those are
but
comfortable. I can't.
they are
You see, I got
comfortable.
on Yeezys right now.
All
These
right,
are comfortable,
yeah,
but
yeah,
the
they
other
are.
ones,
These are comfortable.
yeah,
These are comfortable, but yeah, man. I mean, so I would say the on clouds.
I got you. I got you.
Just
I'm at.
Google when you leave here. Google on cloud.
I,
When you see the logo, you see the shoes. Oh man, I've seen those millions of
I'm
times.
gonna have to look into
You
them
see
because
them
I
million
never heard of them.
times. Yeah.
But if you could have, if you could have a movie based on your life, who would be the main actor? And then if you could have a soundtrack, who would be the main artist with 3 features?
Oh my gosh, bro. Okay, give it again. So the
Okay,
actor that would act me in my life,
who would be the actor of your life, and then who would be if you got to make a soundtrack,
Denzel.
Okay, okay, boom, that's one of my favorite actors. Probably is my favorite actor.
Yeah.
Who would be the artist that would be your feature, like that would have who would make the album of your soundtrack, and then with 3 features, dead or alive?
Dead or alive? I want to say R. Kelly so bad, man, but I would say John Legend. John Legend's my dude, man.
Okay,
I say
okay.
John Legend. Anthony Hamilton will be a
I
feature.
like Eddie Hamilton.
Uh, and this is so funny, dog. I would say my favorite female artist is Jasmine Sullivan.
A lot of people like her.
So I would say
A lot of
Jasmine
people like her.
Sullivan, and I got one more. I said Anthony Hamilton, Jasmine Sullivan.
Yeah.
John Legend would be the
The main.
main, and the third one. You know what I'm saying? I gotta say R. Kelly, man. I got to throw R. Kelly in there, man.
Hey, you said it, I didn't. You said it, I didn't.
The man is probably he probably one of the most talented, if not the
Yeah.
most talented guy in the music industry ever. I mean, this
You got
guy
him
do it
over
all.
MJ?
The guy do it all. I mean, Michael Jackson, of course, my main man. But you gotta understand, Michael Jackson didn't play all of those instruments that, even Prince. Like some people put
Yeah,
Prince
yeah,
over Michael
yeah.
Jackson.
A lot of people do
You
put
know what I'm
Prince
saying?
over
Michael
Michael
Jackson
Jackson.
probably was the best performer. But you got to think about it. I mean, R. Kelly did it all.
Mm-hmm.
R. Kelly, you know, he could play almost every damn instrument. You know, and he produce his own stuff. He write his own stuff. He perform his own stuff, and he got hit at the hit at the hit at the hit. It's just unfortunate, man.
And he got hit with that
He
sentence.
did some dweeb stuff, man. Like,
Yeah.
well, he was accused and well, not just accused, he was convicted of
Yeah.
doing some, you know, some that, like you say,
Yeah.
unforgivable
Yeah.
things, you
Yeah.
know. But
Yeah. But thank you for stepping on my show. Appreciate it.
without it, thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, no
Thanks for having
problem,
me.
no
It was
problem.
fun. It was fun.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Keep God first, because without Him, we're not going anywhere.